Sure is a squeaky pack. It's the frame. Too bad there's no water flowing right here. That would be a nice water source. I'm gonna have to use the lake. I don't hear any flowing water. So what we're gonna do, instead of continuing on the trail here, this is probably the Notch Trail. I'm gonna go around the lake instead and find a good camping spot. Well, I didn't have to go far. Check out this goodness. I got these cliffs here. There's a windbreak. There's the lake. Not only is this an awesome campsite, we have some benches. Now I'm hoping somebody didn't destroy some benches or a walkway and put these here. There's no way for me to know that, but I am going to make this home for the night. Right here on the lake. Here's my view. Ah, it's just stunning, you guys. This little lake, absolutely appropriately named. With everything going on in the world, doesn't this give you hope that there's still beauty left in it? It's not nature that's corrupting things, it's people. And the thing is, folks, we get to choose that. We get to choose what we do with the world and what condition we leave it in. Okay guys, got the Sierra Designs clip flashlight 2. I can never say it right. Got that all set up. You can see in there just my usual quilt sleep pad. Got some extra clothes. I did bring my thermals this time. It's almost September. In fact, 3 days from now, it will be September 1st. So it is starting to cool off. I actually need the thermals now. My last few trips up here, I haven't quite needed them, if at all. Let's take a look at the campfire area situation. So tempting to build a fire. It's so beautiful right here. But I'll behave. There are occasionally huge gusts of wind that come through here, and I certainly wouldn't want to be responsible for my fire being blown and sparks taking off, and the thought of it sickens me. So here's what we have. We have our cooking supplies. The reason there are 2 canisters for one overnighter is this one's almost empty. I figure I'll use it up. This is my son's from his jet boil, but hey, it'll work. Cook pot with the stove inside and some foil. This is just my little Esprit stove as a backup, or maybe I want to heat some cocoa while I cook something else, that kind of thing. Bob Jr. made it on this trip. He missed out on the trip with my boys, but he's happy to be here, as you can see. The frying pan is for breakfast in the morning. I'll explain that when we get to it. Got my cup that Mr. Joe Shanks gave me. Here's my water situation. I have the Sawyer Squeeze. I have a Platypus 3-liter to fill up and a Sawyer Squeeze bag, and I don't have any water. I hiked up here without water because I cameled up before I came, and I'm finally getting thirsty. Food bag, a couple of the items have spilled out, and power bank, knife, camera battery charger, knife sharpener, 1000 lumen flashlight, GoPro attachment. We're going to goof around with that a little bit. And some paracord, of course. Then I've got my sit pad over there. That's my little seating area, separate from my cooking area. And then I hung everything else on this tree. It had some, it's a very helpful tree. It's a very tall and strong tree. It's alive. It's not going to fall and kill me. It's not going to land on my tent and squish me like a bug while I sleep. Look at that. Look at that shot. You can't beat that, man. I need to take a picture of that. The lighting this time of year is incredible, isn't it? It's just beautiful the way it hits everything. So I got my roll pack, my puffer coat. This is obviously my Osprey pack with a beanie and some stuff sacks inside it. And of course the hat I've been wearing. Felt good to take all that off. Aspect cubes, my fire kit basically, my hygiene kit, and my first aid kit as usual. So that's it. That's camp. We are ready to rock and roll, guys. My first order of business is to hydrate. So I'm going to fill the 1 liter bag and drink the whole thing. Then I'll fill the platypus, get plenty of filtered water for the evening, and for tomorrow morning probably. It's just me here, so it should go pretty far. And then if the sun cooperates, it is starting to disappear right back there. Pretty close. Maybe we'll explore around the lake a little bit. If not, we will definitely explore the lake tomorrow and the area. Just kind of check it all out. Get a feel for it. Who knows? Maybe Mr. Heaps made it up here and this is where he is. Maybe this was one of the last beautiful places he saw. Maybe not. But it is a nice thought that if he left this world after 74 years on the planet, that he got to see something like this before it happened. No one here gets out alive, my friends. Jim Morrison 101. All right, let's get some water. Okay, it was time for a couple more layers. That breeze is starting to feel like a cool breeze. And look at this sunset. We are in for a treat, my friends. I don't know if that camera is really doing it justice, but that is beautiful. And right over here, I noticed, although it's not full, the moon has risen. You should be in for a treat tonight. These cameras don't pick up nighttime very well, but I'll do my best to show you the moon. It's not quite full. Here's what I did with my water situation. I wedged a stick in this crevice and hung the bag from that. 3 liters of filtered water, 1 liter of unfiltered water. All right. Now, while I was getting water, I found this piece of a fishing pole. The loops are intact. And it looks like it didn't break off. It just came out of the other half of the pole. Wouldn't it be fun if we were hiking around the lake and I found some fishing line and a hook and some bait? Sometimes fishermen are sloppy and they leave stuff laying around. No offense, but I always clean up after myself. In fact, I clean up stuff other people have left because I don't like it. God, I'm turning into a backcountry Nazi. Anyway, my point is, if I were to walk around this lake and find some fishing line and a hook and something that I could pat that would pass as bait, wouldn't it be cool to catch a fish with stuff I found? Not because I really want to fish, but the thought. This right here is like the cavemen discovering fire. It's like, wait a minute, I've just upped my game. I can get those things that are coming to the surface right now out of the water with this. But I doubt we'll find anything. Before the sun goes down, let's take a walk over to those cliffs right behind me. Just a short walk, just to check things out. We'll do a lot more exploring in the morning. We'll have breakfast and we'll just walk around this whole area and check it out. But for now, I better grab my flashlight just to be prepared. I'll go over there. This is also the time of night that wildlife might come out to drink. Sometimes. The moon's getting brighter. It's really starting to show up. Actually, the moon's always that bright. Science with Utah Steve. It's because things are getting darker that the moon looks brighter. It's our sunset through the notch. That's not the notch. Here's our sunset. I believe that is the notch. I'm not 100%. I know that's not it, even though it looks like it. Fish are jumping right down there. Very active. It's hard for me to be a fisherman and be here without a fishing pole, but I knew I wouldn't be building a fire. So even if I were able to find all the components just by chance and catch a fish, it would just be a catch and release situation, which is fine. I'll be honest with you guys, before I came up here, right about 2:30 p.m. today, I stopped at Burger King. I always do on my way to an outing like this, because I know if I get a giant sandwich and some onion rings and a giant Coke, now mind you, I don't eat like that ever, but I allow it for these outings because I know I'm gonna burn those calories off. I'm gonna need them. A lot of carbs, a lot of energy in that, and it keeps me full for a very long time. It is almost 8 p.m. and I'm not hungry yet, but I will be eventually. Dinner tonight is an MRE. I know you're shocked. No way, not an MRE. Yes, Utah Steve brought an MRE. Highly unusual considering I still have several at home. It's kind of nice to just grab one and throw it in the pack. It's kind of like Christmas, because you get up here and you open it, you don't know what to expect, you don't know what's in it. So, on the other hand, it could be a gross one, I don't know. I can't remember which one I grabbed, but using the process of elimination, least favorite to the one that sounds most reasonable, I narrowed it down to the one I brought, whatever it was, I don't remember. This poor tree. Looks like it rotted out and fell over right into the water. It used a tower above this lake and now it's part of the lake. I'm really surprised to see fish rippling in the water here. There aren't many, but they're here. They're mostly out here where it's deeper. It's really dark and murky and deep. Like it starts there, it just drops right off. You could probably jump off this into the water and not hit bottom, but I don't want to find out the hard way. You don't suppose Melvin Heaps was a diving enthusiast, do you? I doubt it. Camp is right over in there. And that's Reed's Peak right there. I think that's Bald Mountain next to it. Look at this. Here's our sunset. The problem is the camera tries to compensate for the darkness, and it isn't nearly doing it the justice that it should be. So here's the far end of the lake. You can see some broken off rocks from these cliffs falling into the water at some point. It's pretty shallow right there. I think it's deeper right out there. Despite being in the middle of nowhere, as soon as I got up on these cliffs, I started getting messages on my phone. One of those messages was that Joe Shanks just uploaded a YouTube video. The other half of his video, part 2 of the other half of our Naomi Lake adventure, which isn't too far from here. Isn't that beautiful? Got the moon coming up over there, the sun going down over there, surrounded by pristine wilderness. Not a care in the world, my friends. One thing I want to show you, I got smart this time. I have a bad habit of hanging my bear bag after dark, or close to dark like now, and after I've eaten dinner. Every time I come out, I try to improve my situation from the previous time. And so what I did is I hung my line already. It's gonna be up around that branch way up there. We've got the rock hanging here, so I can tie my bag to that and pull the rock down, and it'll go way up there in that tree. We're set. Like after I eat, I just stuff everything in the bear bag and I need to, and tie it on there and pull it up. And there was no drama, by the way. I didn't film it this time, but there was no drama with the getting the line, getting the paracord over the tree branch. It took 2 tries, not 50 like sometimes it does. I just set up all of camp and then I came back and talked to you. I didn't want to sit and film every little aspect of it. I think I want dinner. I think I want something. Let's tear into the MRE and just see what's in it at least. It'll get me started. We are looking at menu 8, meatballs and marinara sauce. Yeah, that does sound pretty awesome. Okay. It's pretty full. Pretty good size. Don't want to accidentally cut the wrong thing open. I can't grab it. There we go. All right. This marinara sauce with meatballs. This is our main course. I can fill them in there. They're little like the kind you get in SpaghettiOs, which I actually like. So our typical heating sleeve. Guess what it comes with? Garlic mashed potatoes. That's awesome. And it's also a good chance that that's dinner. I don't know. I'm just still so full. I was telling you about the Burger King and I got distracted, as I am prone to do. Squirrel. I bought a huge sandwich. What I got was the Steak King or King Steak Burger or something like that, and I ordered a single, but they gave me a double anyway, and I'm not used to eating like that, and I'm still incredibly full, but I can feel that I'm getting fatigued from, I don't know, I'm not super hungry, so I don't know how this is gonna go, guys. This right here is Beverage Powder Tropical Punch. I will be drinking that. Raise my blood sugar, and there's sugar in this, thank goodness. I don't want sugar-free stuff on the trail so much because I need the energy. All right. Oh, one of my favorites, oatmeal chocolate chunk cookie. I've showed this. I had one of these in my backpacking in a hailstorm video, several videos back in the spring. And these are awesome. So far, I'm pleased. But hey, things can change. This is jalapeno cheese spread. Ash, my oldest son, he usually watches my videos. This is for you, buddy. He told me to save these for him. Whoa. Okay, what do we got here? We have a teriyaki beef stick. Now, I've had these before, and what it usually is a what you would buy in the store, just a beef stick from the store. Sometimes it's in packaging inside this packaging, so whatever. That sounds good though. It'll be a good trail snack. Got my spoon, got my heating element. Have not encountered the mashed potatoes yet. All right, Accessory Pack has gum, coffee, creamer, sugar, toilet paper, towelette, and matches. So lots of stuff in there. Here's the beverage bag for, you know, if you don't have something to heat the beverage in. I never use these, but I always keep them. I never know when they're going to come in handy at some point. And I might be out on an outing here and things just don't go quite right, and I need this for some reason. I don't know. These must be the mashed potatoes. Oh yeah, garlic mashed potatoes. There we go. See, I didn't need to even bring the ramen with me because I can eat one of these for lunch, either the meatballs or the mashed potatoes. The other one for dinner, and I've got all these other things that came with it. One more thing. Italian breadsticks. Okay, I've had these before. They usually do come with some of the more Italian MREs, which we have marinara and meatballs. So you can put the marinara and meatballs on this and just eat it that way. I'm really leaning towards the mashed potatoes, guys. I know that's lame. I know it is, because the marinara and meatballs sounds good, but my stomach is so full. Ugh. Okay. That's everything that's in there. Clean it up. We now have our garbage bag. I also have a Ziploc bag with me. So the question is, what do I really want to eat? What am I really hungry enough for? And I hate to say it, not to disappoint anyone, maybe lunch tomorrow will be the meatballs. And we're gonna have the mashed potatoes for dinner. And along with that, we'll save the beef stick for the trail. I want to have the cookie and the mashed potatoes and the beverage base powder, the tropical drink. So that's what it's going to be. Okay, let me clean up this mess. One thing I do like about this camera is that it does compensate for light fairly well. I just don't like that I can't get any good sunset shots. What I'm seeing with the naked eye isn't always, you know, what I'm seeing, what the camera is seeing. I think I'm tired, guys. I'm not putting my thoughts together very well. I can't see the line in this, but I'm just going to put a decent amount of water in here for the beverage. Okay, just put that up over our stick there. Man, that is like chunky style. What's up with that? Look at that. That's disgusting. The expiration date isn't for a couple more years on this MRE. This is ridiculous. Why on earth is it curdling like cottage cheese? That is disgusting and very disappointing. Can you guys see that? Look at that. It just curdled like, well, like cheese. Disgusting. I'm going to keep stirring and see what happens. Try to mash it up a little. Otherwise, I'm going to spoon out the chunks and drink the rest. I don't think it'll kill me. Alright. That's what I'm going to have to do. I don't like flicking food around camp either. It's sticking to the spoon. I can't even get it off of there. Hang on, I'll be right back. Alright. It's a little better. It's still got some stuff floating in it, but I'll try to avoid it. Here goes nothing. Don't know how well you can see me. It looks okay. It's kind of dark, but here we go, guys. Bottoms up. It tastes like red Gatorade. I was expecting more of a fruit punch, like Hawaiian punch. There are some floaties for sure. Not my favorite thing in the world. I don't know about you guys, but I don't like my drinks to be chunky style. There's something swimming in the water out there. He's just cruising across the lake. Might be a small beaver or some kind of rodent. I'll have to try to see if I can film him in a little bit. My flashlight is bright enough to reach out there. I don't even want to finish this, but I need it. I need the sugar. Some splashing going on out there. I do have my trail camera set up right over here on the cliff, aimed at camp. I almost never catch anything but me moving around, but you never know. Every place is a little different. I have to say, guys, that burger really filled me up. I'm not even sure I want dinner. I may just eat the cookie. Kids, if you're watching this, don't just eat a cookie for dinner and drink Gatorade, unless you're sick. You shouldn't eat cookies if you're sick. Anyway, can you see me better if I do this? Yes, you can. It was a dark and stormy night. And it was the same night that I went blind from too much light in my face. Let me turn it down. Whoa, whoa, look at that. I'm actually shining my light the other direction and it's reflecting back onto my face. That's the bright setting. Okay, here's the low. That battery's loose in there. That's low, medium, high. That's 1,000 lumens. No, that's 1,000 lumens. And then we could do this. Wow. Don't know what happened. Wow, chicken, wow, wow. We'll use the low setting. There's the low setting, so how's that? I think I'm just exhausted. I don't think this is just that I'm full from Burger King 7 hours ago. I'm just freaking beat. I slept, but I was awake all night last night, and then I did all this hiking. It seems too early to go to bed. It's probably 9 p.m. It's been getting dark around 8:30, so that's probably about right. All right, that finishes the drink, if you want to call it that. The Hawaiian punch. What would you call that? That's pretty disgusting. Where's my cookie? Man, guys, I just don't want to eat. I haven't been eating like this for some time, and I've lost weight. I've been eating smaller amounts of food for weeks. Some of it was my depression, some depression problems, some things going on in my life. Just didn't feel like eating. Then when I came out the other end of that, or at least for a while, I just started eating what I could, and I've been doing that. I just don't, and even the cookie just doesn't sound good. Like the juice was, the Gatorade stuff was enough. I have to decide. I can't take food in my tent with me. I don't want to get up in the night and have to bring the bear bag back down. The bear bag back down. I'm just exhausted. That's what this is. I'm grateful to be here. It's beautiful, but I'm beat. It's important to listen to your body. If your body says don't eat that, I just can't. You better listen, because I might eat this cookie and wake up in the middle of the night and throw it up. My guess is I'm going to wake up in the morning starving, probably before the sun comes up. I just want to shut my eyes right now. Go to sleep. You hear that silence? Let's leave this out for now. Let's go over and try to film that beaver or whatever it is that keeps swimming across the pond. And come back and see how I feel. If by the time I'm genuinely ready to climb in the tent, then I'll just put these in the bear bag and we'll have them tomorrow or whatever. Okay guys, as soon as I walked up here, that thing dove under the water. And I don't know if it slapped its tail or not, like a beaver would, but it just dove down. So I'm going to sit here for a minute, see if he comes back up. How well can you see out there? Can't hold his breath forever. The light doesn't shine too well on the water. Maybe if I zoom in. He's kind of right out there. He's way out there. Can't make him out, but I can see him cruising across the water right there in my light. He's too far away for me to tell what he is. I didn't notice any beaver dams around here. But he dove under like a beaver, just woof, big splash and everything. But he's small, super small. I can see him with my naked eye just cruising across the lake. The light doesn't upset him, but if I move it, he disappears. Anyway, not going to be able to film it. I told you this camera's not great at night, but some things it does okay with. Look, 2 moons. My camera's having a hard time focusing. What are you doing? The moon sparkling on the water. It's beautiful. Of course, to the naked eye, the moon is quite large. It's amazing. Good night, Hope Lake. And good night, Melvin Heaps, wherever you are. Well, guys, I am in the tent, obviously. It's only 9 p.m. I'm pretty beat. It was a long week at the hospital. I had, just the other night, 2 patients. If you don't know, I work in a hospital and I work exclusively with psych patients or behavioral patients. People with mental illnesses, people with drug addictions, people with alcohol problems. Sometimes all that mixed together. And the other night they brought me a guy to keep an eye on that he had smoked weed, meth, and drink all together and was suicidal and paranoid. And I mean paranoid. When we drew blood, he thought we were putting blood in him. He kept calling us liars, that we were trying to hurt him. He kept trying to run out of the emergency room. There's something we have called a pink sheet where the police officer fills out this pink form that basically puts the person on a 72-hour hold by the state of Utah. And it's pretty standard most places, I think, not just Utah. But they don't have to be held for 72 hours, but they have to be held no more than 72 hours. And during that time, they have to be medically treated and also speak to a crisis counselor who will decide if they need to be placed in a facility, like our behavioral unit in our hospital, like a locked down, for lack of a better term, the psych ward, or if they're safe to go home. And this guy kept trying to run out of his room and run out of the hospital. When they do that, I have to stop them. I am legally obligated. So I took this guy to the floor like 3 times. He was shorter than me, but more muscular, and but he was so high out of his mind and paranoid, all he could think to do was run. So eventually I had to take him to the floor, hold him down, while the nurses got the medication ready and injected him. It doesn't happen like it shows in the movies and on TV. You don't give them the shot and they fall asleep and the fight is over. It takes about 20 minutes for that stuff to kick in. So 20 minutes of struggling with this guy, he finally fell asleep. In the meantime, the police bring in a homicidal gangbanger. I have to watch people whether they are a threat to themselves or other people. So this guy was so out of control, he had to be taken down held to the bed and put in what we call hard restraints. There's soft restraints, which are spongy things that go around your wrists and ankles and tie to the bed. Hard restraints are leather straps that lock down with a key. I've only seen them used in my 6 years at the hospital. This was the second time ever. So it takes a pretty severe patient for us to break those out. So they got those out. He escaped them once while we were trying to put them on, and then they finally shot him full of medication, which relaxed him, and he started going off into La La Land. And while he was there, we locked him down with the hard restraints, and basically the rest of the night, after the wrestling matches with those two, I had to just watch them sleep until my relief came in the morning and I could leave. So I'm telling you all this because that is a typical night for me at work. That was just one of many. I've been knocked out, I've been kicked, I've been punched, I've been yelled at, sworn at, called all kinds of names, insulted repeatedly, you name it. It all just rolls off my back anymore because, you know, I don't know why people who don't know me at all think they can hurt me. It doesn't work that way. It's the people that know you best that can hurt you the most. And those are the ones you really have to watch out for, I think. But hopefully if there's enough foundation of trust with those people, you're safe with them. Anyway, these psych patients, they're not in their right head. The homicidal guy, he was drunk and high, and what set him off earlier in the night was that he had applied for a concealed carry gun permit by the state of Utah and was denied. He'd been in prison. He had tattoos all over his face. It was kind of funny because he called himself a Blood, a member of the Blood gang. He had a red shirt, he had red shoes, and while he was passed out, we had to draw blood, and we wrapped him up neatly in some blue Coban, which is their rival gang, the Crips. Anyway, this is the stuff I have to deal with on a regular basis, and it's exhausting. By the end of the week, I'm mentally done. I have to get away like this to keep my sanity. It's that, or sit around my house without my kids there and just be depressed, and that's not good for anybody. So here we are at Hope Lake, thinking of someone else, someone else's potential suffering, Mr. Melvin Heaps. Right now, I have a movie. I downloaded a movie onto my phone. It's become a habit now. Tonight's movie is Annabelle Comes Home. If you've seen any of the Annabelle movies, they're really scary. They're based on true facts, true stories, depending on what you believe in. I think ghosts are a real thing. I think hauntings are a real thing. I've experienced some stuff in my life. I've mentioned before ghost hunting. I don't do it much anymore, but definitely love the movies. The real Annabelle doll looks nothing like the one in the movies, by the way. Anyway, I may not get through it all. I just took 3 melatonin. I'm mentally and physically tired. I'm going to try to watch it and hopefully not have nightmares up here in the woods by myself about dolls coming to tear into my tent. I guess that's it. That's my plan right now. That's as far as my brain will let me go. I can't believe how dark it is for 9 p.m., but I have to remember it is almost September. We only have 3 weeks until autumn. So I guess that means in Australia there's 3 weeks till spring. Strange. Anyway, guys, I'm going to go to sleep now. I may get up super early. I may not. I don't know. If I wake up starving, then I'll get up and eat. So, unless something significant happens, I did hear some coyotes, a whole pack of them, but they sounded really far away. Sound travels really well up here. My brain is just going and going all over the place. So, it is time for me to just shut it down. Do some meditating. I do that regularly. Some praying, some movieage, and just kind of get my head on straight. Get all of this back in alignment and feeling better. Because I've just been going pretty much since I walked out the door today. Okay, guys. Good night. I'll see you in the morning.